Listen to everything and every word that the preachers preach and everything that they say. I think I'm going into another part, or I might be in another part of this video. Okay, people. Tithing was never about money. It never was about shekels, dollars. When the Most High gave the law of the tithing, it was only given to Israel. It was not given to Egypt. It was not given to Canaan. It was not given to Babylon. It was not given to any other nation of the earth. The tithing system was given to Israel. The only reason the scriptures are written is because of Israel. Okay? That every other nation is written and every other people are written is written because of the tithes to Israel with some type of business, a situation dealing with Israel. The scriptures are only written because of Israel. And it was written by the prophets and the apostles of Israel. Now, other men have taken the scriptures to translate it into their nations. But originally, the scriptures are written for Israel, by Israel. These are the life and times of Israel, our people. And that's why the scriptures are written. Okay? So then you go and people say, well, now we're going to the New Testament with Isa. Jesus. I call him Isa by his Hebrew name, but they realize of Jesus. Okay? And Jesus talked about the tithes of men. I'm not going to go there. But understand, when Jesus was walking the earth, he was still when he was still walking, and before he was crucified, Israel was still under the law. We live under the dispensation of grace now. There's many things that we would do and say if we were living under the law. The Most High would have killed us, because he didn't suffer some things, many things back then that he suffered and let us do and say now. But you must still be straight, saved, and baptized before your death day, that your name may be written in the Lamb Book of Life. Okay. I'm about to read this scripture. Oh, let me finish saying this, but I'm about to read a scripture, and this is the scripture that you never hear people talking about. I never heard a preacher preach or teach about this scripture. Okay? So, when Jesus walked the earth was still under the dispensation of the law. Israel was still under the dispensation of the law. So when Jesus walked, when he mentioned mint and comet, which still isn't money, he said they give their attention to that, but they forsake the more needful things. That's all he was saying. Jesus never in his life in scripture taught pay your tithes. The apostles who established the church, that you church people and you pastors and bishops supposed to be going by the blueprint of this scripture, the apostles never preached tithing. Now I'm going to mention, I'm going to go to 2 Corinthians right here, the 9th chapter. And I'm going to read this right here that you never hear being preached or taught. Okay? And I want you to hear the words of these scriptures right here. It's about 3 of them. I'm about to read these 3 scriptures. And listen to each and every word that I'm about to say, because it's very important. Very important. Listen. Understand what I said before. Jesus never commanded nor taught anyone to pay tithing. The apostles never taught anyone to tithe, but this is what the apostles taught about tithing. And then I'm going to say something after this, and I'm almost finished with this video. This is 2 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, starting at the 6th verse. But this I say, he which sows sparingly will reap also sparingly, and he which sow bountifully will reap also bountifully. Every man according as he purpose in his heart, so let him give. Not grudgingly or of necessity, For the Most High loves a cheerful giver. The Most High is able to make all grace abound toward you, that you always, having all sufficiency in all things, may bound to every good works. Let me read this again. Let me read this again, people. This is 2 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, starting at the 6th verse. But this I say, he which sows sparingly will reap also sparingly, and he which sow bountifully will reap also bountifully. Every man according as he purpose in his heart, so let him give. That's the commandment of the church by the apostle Paul. And I'm saying it like this because I want you to understand this. Now listen to the commandments. But this I say, he which sows sparingly will reap also sparingly, and he that sow bountifully will reap also bountifully. Every man according as he purpose in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or out of necessity. So this is what the commandment of the church has said. This is what Apostle Paul said in Scripture in the 2nd book of Corinthians. He said, according to what's in your heart, give. According to what's in your heart, give. But don't give grudgingly. Now, what is grudgingly? Grudgingly is giving when you don't want to give. Grudgingly is giving, I really don't want to. Oh my goodness, I don't want to give. Oh my goodness, I got this to pay, I got that to pay. They always asking for money. All I want to do is just come in and hear the word. That's all I want to do. I don't want to come here and be the tax people or the bill collectors are already pressing me. They already got their hands out every month. The car payment, the insurance, the mortgage, the rent, the electric bill, the gas bill, money to buy food, gas. All these people got their hands out, want money from me. Now I got to come here. All I want to do is hear the word of the Most High. And I got to pull out money because they keep begging me. But I'm going to just get it because they asking. Don't give grudgingly. The scripture says don't give grudgingly. And you know what else the scripture said? It said, not grudgingly or out of necessity. Now, what is necessity? Necessity means you're giving because it's required. You're giving because it's a commandment. You're giving it because you have to. But the scriptures say don't give out of necessity. Necessity means it's necessary. Don't give because it's necessary. But according to your heart, give. And that's the order of the church of the New Testament. And it was given by Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, starting at the 6th verse to the 8th verse. Now I need to ask you this. Who among you is greater than Apostle Paul? Who among you are walking on Martin Luther King Street, Malcolm X Street, Main Street, and people are being healed by your shadows? Who are you when the demons and when the evil spirits see you, they cry out and they depart like that? Who are you greater than Apostle Paul when he gave the commandments right here to the church and you dare ignore it? Now you have allowed a system to be so established, and you have allowed an entity to be so established that you would not turn from your lies and your evilness and your wickedness, but you would continue to lie to the people and tell them that they must pay their tithes. And countless times, many of you, when people want to join your church congregation, one of the first things you ask is, do you believe in paying tithes? Do you believe in tithing? Do you believe in paying your tithe? And the majority that I've always heard said yes. But the scripture says don't give out of necessity. Tithing is the necessary according to the churches. Many people pay their tithes and they pay them grudgingly. So let me tell you this. Tithing shouldn't even be in the church today. Who are you greater than the apostles? Who are you that's living today and that's coming along that's greater than Jesus? And Jesus didn't preach tithing, nor did he give the commandment to the apostles to preach or teach tithing. And the apostles did not preach tithing. We are specifically given instructions in the scriptures to give according to our heart. According to our heart. And the scripture says if you give bountifully, you will be blessed bountifully. If you give sparingly, then your blessings are going to be sparingly. Don't give grudgingly, and don't give out of necessity, a commandment by the scriptures from the apostle, whose name is written in the foundation of the New Jerusalem according to the book of Revelations. Who are you today to defy the words of the apostle who lived physically under Jesus Christ on this earth before he was crucified? Shame on you, pastor. Shame on you, bishop. You continue to ignore the scriptures of the new church, of the church. You continue to not boast, to not magnify this scripture to the people. You continue to ignore and trick the people talking about seed time and harvest time. And when the scriptures was talking about seed time or harvest time, it was strictly talking about the ground, literally the ground. That's why in scripture you had 6 years to tithe. Israel had to tithe, not the Gentiles. 6 years that Israel was supposed to tithe, and on the 7th year, because I'm not going to get into this, because I'll probably have 12 parts to this if I went deep into this. And I'm going to bring something up, and then I'm going to call this video quits. The Most High gave, I think I lost my thought I was going to say because I scattered, but the Most High gave the substance of what tithing was to Israel. This is what I was going to say. Israel was given a commandment to tithe 6 years, and in 7 years they had to let the ground rest, let the ground heal. And then there's a tithing cycle where the Most High told Israel to go to where, the Most High said, go to where my name is. His name was in Jerusalem. He said, told the people, he said, go there. But if your tithing is too heavy, sell your tithing. What did I do with that money? I think sell. The Most High gave instructions to Israel to go to the place where my name is, and his name was in Israel. If your journey, he said, this is a commandment by the Most High, and who are you that's greater than the Most High that's walking this earth today? The Most High gave a commandment to Israel. He said, if your journey is too far, or if your journey be too far to where you can't carry your tithe, the scripture, the Most High gave commandment. He said, sell your tithing. Sell it. Make your journey to where my name is. And then buy your tithing. And then there, in the place where my name is, which is in Jerusalem, eat before me. This right here is a $20 bill. This is a $20 bill. And you know what I'm not going to do with this $20 bill? I'm not going to eat it. This $20 bill is not oil. It's not hurtlings. It's not corn. It's not a seed. It's not the fruit of the trees, of all trees. It's not that. So I tear up because I understand the lies that's being told and the deceitfulness. Now listen to this, people. Listen to this, pastors. Listen to this, bishops. Listen to this, ministers, evangelists, and all of you that still stay on the tithing wagon. The Most High said all liars are going to have their part in the lake of fire. So now I ask you, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That you have listened to this video, or you have brought to someone to listen to this video and they know truth? Are you going to continue to teach lies and support something that the Most High said not? And that Jesus didn't command, nor did he give his apostles to command. And I'm going to read something because I broke this tithing system down in one of my books that I wrote. It's called The Book of Answers. It's called Kept Secrets, The Book of Answers, and this is volume 1 that I wrote, and many things I wrote. Because even talking to you in this video, my eyes, I feel like crying. I feel like crying because I hurt. And why do I hurt? I hurt because of the lies that's being told to the people. Let me read, before I read this out of this book, Kept Secrets, I want to tell you that I feel like crying because of the lies and the deceitfulness that's being told and how people won't turn for their wicked ways. And now we're living under a system, under this lie of the church tithing system. And now churches have been established and buildings have been built. And now mortgages are due. And thousands of people go to some, and hundreds go to others, and lesser numbers go to other churches. And mortgages and rent has to be paid. Electric bills and this and that has to be paid. And what's the system that some of this is being paid under? And most of this is being paid under is this tithing system. So now the pastors and the ministers and the bishops and the evangelists and the elders would not turn from this lie. And they would continue to teach you to pay your tithing and to bring 10% of your income money to them each time you get paid. And many of them, as I was told, they say even when you get your income tax, you pay